Hello. So I am back again with some CV tips and things to think about when you're creating your CV. So, yesterday, I promised that I'll go live every day this week to share some of my top tips and mainly talk around CV psychology because it's super important. And you'll know this, or maybe you won't know this, if you've been sending your CV off and not getting any interview invites and it just feels like your CV is going into a black hole, then there's something off with your CV. And usually it's the psychology. So I'm going to take you through all of the different elements of CV psychology this week, just so that you can get a real understanding for it. Now, yesterday I discussed credibility and first impressions, and today we are going to be talking about how you can show your value on your CV without just listing loads and loads of stuff and trying to cram everything in there. We want to show real value. We want to show return on investment. And we want to make sure that when somebody reads your information, it's an absolute no-brainer that they need to get you in to interview you. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all, if you want all of the notifications when I go live, if you want the replays, if you want all the resources that I will talk about and share as we go through the week, then all you need to do is sign up to my newsletter. I'll just put it along the bottom for you. Here you go. So it's pamelalangan.com/career insider. Now, if you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get the newsletter content too. And I'll be sharing lots of stuff about CV writing and job searching in the coming weeks. Okay, so let's just get into it because, time is of the essence. I know you've not got all day, and I want to give you some clear, actionable stuff that you can take away today. Okay, so we're going to be looking at what I call the value zone. So yesterday I talked through the zones of truth. So this is how people will interpret your CV. So you're going to have the credibility zone, you're going to have the value zone, and you're going to have the fit zone. Today we're talking about value. Tomorrow we'll talk about fit. So too many CVs sound like job descriptions, and this is about taking your CV from sounding task focused to value focused. It's all about the value, because when somebody is reading your CV, they're not really thinking, has this person included all the keywords? Of, if they mirrored our job description, what they're thinking is, will this person add value? Will this person be able to hit the ground running? Will this person add value in our role? Is there enough alignment for us to be able to see that? Okay, so it's as simple as that, really, but it's how you position the information on there that is going to be super important. So let's think about the value zone. So once your CV has passed the visual test, recruiters are looking for the impact that you've made, things you've delivered, and what you can bring to the table. So they're looking for results, not just responsibilities. They're looking for patterns of achievement. So are you a high achiever in all of your roles? Are you a problem solver? Like, what is it that you bring to the table? Why are you different from everyone else? And what they want to see is they want to see that alignment with the role that they're recruiting for, but they also want to see that value that you bring. So this is where they really decide at this point, when they're going through the value zone, this is where they decide if they think that you're good at what you do. And they're not going to base that on job titles or the amount of keywords that you've got in your CV. And it's just unfortunate, because people have been led to believe that that is how CVs are viewed and how CVs or how decisions are made around invites to interview. Okay, so how can you show your value? It's the $1 million question, isn't it? So when you are writing your CV, you need to be thinking about telling a story to show impact. So you need to make sure you've got a really strong professional summary that talks about, what you've done, what you can do, what you want to do moving forward. And then you need to think about the bullets that you've got on there. Now, it's not enough to just list everything from your job description. You need to think about having outcome-focused bullets on there. You need to go through every single bullet and ask yourself, is it relevant? And what does it show? Now, if it doesn't really show anything, it's like, well, does it need to be on there, or can it be reworded? So let me just give you an example of an impactful outcome-focused bullet. So what you could start off with is a bullet like manage a team of 5 developers. Let's use that as an example. Now, to make this more outcome focused, to make it more impactful, I would change that to led a 5-person team to launch a new feature that improved retention by 18%. Now, that just absolutely blows the first bullet out of the water. So if you think about, I managed a team of 5 developers, what does that actually mean? What did you actually achieve? What was the result that you created? What was the value that you created? Okay. But then if you change that to, I led a 5-team person to launch a new feature that improved retention by 18%, you are given them more information, and it's only like an extra 5 words. So it's still one bullet point, it's still one line, but it just shows so much more value. And who am I going to select for interview? The person who's managed a team of 5 developers, but I'm not actually sure, how they managed or to what depth they managed, or the person who led a 5-person team to launch a new feature that improved retention. So straight away, I'm like, wow, return on investment, there's definitely some value there. Okay. So this is about turning your boring bullet points that don't really tell people much into something compelling. So don't just say what you did or what you do. Say, show them what it means, show them the value that it's adding. And if there's no value to add, does it need to be on there? Like, if it's not showing any value, does it really need to be on your CV? Now, one of the other things to think about is numbers on your CV. Now, you might not be in a role that you can use numbers or refer to numbers, but you can definitely talk about people that you've managed, pieces of work that you've processed. There's numbers that you can pull into your CV. So I would challenge you or task you with making sure that in each and every role that you've got on your CV, that there is at least one number on there so people can measure or see the impact that you're having. And numbers are so much more memorable. As somebody's scanning through your CV, they're going to pick out numbers, they're going to pick out bolded areas. So there's lots of things to think about as you go through. But if you use numbers on your CV, they're going to catch someone's eye, they're going to show scale, and they will also invite some follow-up questions. So make sure that those numbers that you put onto your CV are numbers that you can explain and you can talk about. Okay. So even if you're not in a data heavy role, you've got no specific KPIs, just use numbers to quantify things like time saved, volume handled, people supported, anything that really creates that scale or context. Okay. So in terms of showing value on your CV, you want to go through every single line on your CV and ask yourself, what value is this showing? How is this information represent me? Is it a true reflection of what I've done? Or actually, are there some other things that I can add in? And also think about going through your bullets, making them more outcome focused, and where you can, add some numbers in. And this will definitely help with adding value to your CV. So go through your CV, be really honest with yourself, and just ask yourself for each line, it doesn't take that long. What does this show? Does it show that I add value? If it doesn't, can I reword it? If there's no value to be had, then get it off the CV. Okay. So when you're doing this, make sure you've got that reader in mind, the employer, the hiring manager, the recruiter, and ask yourself with each sentence, with each line, with each bullet on your CV, what does it mean to the reader? Does it mean anything? Is it relevant? What will they think? What will they want to see? And if you approach it from that angle, you will definitely force yourself to make sure that the information that you are displaying on your CV shows where you add value. And if you are sat there watching this and you're thinking, I really need to get on top of my CV, I need to get it done, not got the time, or you just prefer me to write it for you anyway, then you can come and work with me. Here's the link here. It's pamelalangan.com/work with me. And I will revamp your CV for you to make sure that it's value focused and to significantly increase your chances of getting selected. And if you want all of the notifications and the replays and all of the free resources, then all you need to do is sign up for the newsletter. So it's pamelalangan.com/work with me to check out all of my services. And it's pamelalangan.com/career insider to get added onto the newsletter list. And I will be back tomorrow where we'll be talking about the fit zone. And this is where employers, hiring managers start to think about, based on what we can see on the CV, how will this person fit with our team? So I will be back tomorrow to talk